In the past few days, XRP has gone through problems that took it to over $4,800 per XRP. There have been rumors that the SEC is actually changing the price of XRP on the market. This has led to a lot of speculation that the $4,800 price drop may not be a price drop at all, but rather the Federal Reserve using XRP in a test program. Again, new reports come out in less than an hour that the SEC, or U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, is looking into whether the Federal Reserve manipulated the market for cryptocurrencies, specifically the value of XRP based on the public ledger market. This means that retail centralized platforms are also manipulating the retail and institutional markets by telling people not to buy XRP while they keep holding on to it and putting it in their banks. XRP actually went through one of the biggest price errors in history and went up to over $34,000. Jack Drupler made it clear that this is the real price on the private ledger for central banks, and that it will eventually show up on the public ledger since he is the founder of the XRP ledger and a co-founder of Ripple. David Schwartz said that the public ledger had the same value as the secret ledger. Right here is where my guess comes in. I think they will just kind of average it. If the price of XRP on the public ledger is $1 and on the secret ledger it is $100, we will see a price point for XRP when it adds up to about $50 per XRP. But once more, if it's in the thousands of dollars, XRP will be in the same range. We're going to really look into all of this, even the XRP price glitch. That's not all. This movie shows how the US Treasury, the Federal Reserve, and the SEC are all manipulating the market on a large scale. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button, save the channel to your phone's alerts, and share this video before we go. If you want to get some free XRP because we're working with Uphold, you can do that too. You are sure to be able to do that. You can use the extra money to buy up to $100 worth of XRP. All you have to do is use the link in the text to sign up for Uphold. And go ahead and make a deal. It doesn't take long. I strongly suggest that you do it. In particular, they are one of the best places to buy and sell XRP. So definitely tell others about them. So let's start the video right away. You should remember that the US Federal Reserve is being looked into by the SEC for market manipulation and manipulating XRP. We have to play the movie since it just came out on June 2nd. Written by David Antalfati for the US Federal Reserve Board. Here's what he says. He says the Fed could give payment to a third party like Ripple Labs with a focus on XRP and Ripple. Let's play the clip for you now. So some people ask, how can you trust the Fed to keep the books? Yes, I did say that. My answer is that you don't think the Fed will steal your money. In other words, the Fed won't want to mess with the books if it can print all the money at once. We have this big chart, if you want to talk about the blockchain, but it's only run by the Fed. It's also very cheap, much cheaper than Bitcoin, if you're okay with someone else taking care of it. One problem with all of that is that, well, let's say you didn't want the Federal Reserve to handle the funds. That is, let's say that the Fed is likely putting know your customer KYC restrictions on some sales. They might not be able to handle some purchases you want to make. But at that point, I said, well, we could, if we wanted to take the idea one step further, I'm not saying this will ever happen, but as an idea, you could picture a Fed coin where the Fed would just make these things that look like Bitcoin. But they would set a fixed exchange rate with the US dollar, which would stop the exchange rate from fluctuating. They could then give the clearing of these payments to a third party, like a Ripple-like protocol, or maybe even Bitcoin miners. The idea behind this is that you can see how the director of the Federal Reserve said Ripple, and then tried to take back what he said. Because he felt bad about putting himself in that situation. He said, Ripple, you shouldn't set XRP because that is a private discussion between the Federal Reserve internally, which he later admitted, but we're not going to use XRP. No, we're going to use Bitcoin in the miners, which again doesn't make sense when there is a cheaper, more open company like Ripple Labs that makes XRP tokens and the Federal Reserve has already started working with them. It doesn't make sense to use Bitcoin miners. Again, it's clear that he was trying to go back on what he said because he made a mistake. And that's what we need to understand. Here, the SEC is next on the list. They are looking into claims that the Federal Reserve manipulated the market. In more than one situation, this is a big deal. Once more, it shows us because it was caught in the dry, bright light of day. It says the pictures are for allegedly changing the value of Bitcoin, Ripple XRP, and Stellar XLM on the cryptocurrency markets. When I checked, DeZero was in the news every couple of weeks for cancer comments and a story about how he was manipulating the markets. It looks like he's using classic organization by changing the prices of securities by making announcements about monetary policies. But is that really a surprise? I don't think so, because when you look at the big picture, all of these large-scale moves are already happening, and they're being done by huge financial institutions like BlackRock and JP Morgan. This piece was written on November 28th, 2023, and it's about BlackRock, JP Morgan, and their holdings of XRP. This is something I've been looking into a lot. The XRP bag is probably a lot bigger now than it was on November 28th, but BlackRock needed more than 7.5 million XRP because they were going to list the company soon. What does this mean now? As a result, these two banks and other large global banks are quietly gathering XRP behind the scenes, with only Fernand saying, "We are not working with Ripple, we are not going to use XRP. They are keeping the price low so they can gather millions." And millions of XRP, and then all of a sudden, when you wake up one morning, BlackRock, JP Morgan, and the SEC are all over the news. It seems like everything is over, and now XRP is going through the roof. This is the idea, and this is probably what we'll see one day when the price of XRP goes up like this from $1 to $10 to $20 to $30 to $40, and then up to hundreds of dollars. It happened with Bitcoin, which went from $3,000 to $60,000 in a matter of days. Ethereum has seen this happen. Litecoin has seen this happen. The huge vertical trend has happened with a lot of these tokens. And XRP will be the one that does 100 times what they did. In other words, if the value of Bitcoin went up by 1,000%, the value of XRP would go up by about 10,000%. On top of that, a CEO hasn't even said that the XRP ledger, which everyone loves and which all of these banks are using, will make things easier. $32.2 trillion in the next 6 to 7 months. Plus, I found another huge accomplishment after doing a lot more study, which you all know I always like to do. The first XRP Ledger credit card is about to come out, and it will be able to handle $1 trillion on its own again in about 6 to 7 months. I was told that 30 trillion has started to come into the XRP Ledger with the help of D5 payments. As of just a few hours ago, the depeg token pre-sale began. Our goal is to reach 1 trillion by 2025. D5 payments is in the top 10 on the XRP exchange after only 16 minutes. It sounds like you're talking about something that will really blow up the XRP system and keep going up in value on its own. I think that these accomplishments, the XRP Ledger credit card released by depeg token, and the fact that depeg is likely to be used to make transfers easier are the most important things. Once more, that's huge news. In fact, I've already chosen to buy some depeg tokens because I really believe that $1 trillion will be possible by 2025. Not only will that be great for XRP, but it will also be great for depeg tokens. That means that $1 trillion are going to depeg. And if $1 trillion is put into the depeg token, which is just the record, it could easily rocket into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars on its own. And the prices are really low right now. Really, this is our site depegtoken.com. They are currently priced at 0.095 cents though, so if you click on this, I might be able to show you. This means you can actually stock up at very low prices, which is what I've done and will continue to do. Of course, after start, which I think is now in pre-sale, it usually goes through the roof at launch. I'm going to try to make the most of this great chance to collect. However, I am not a business advisor and always have been. This is not financial help, and you should always find out more on your own. This part is paid for, but at the end of the day, DeFi Payments is giving the XRP Ledger its first credit card. I also really like how useful it is. Of course, I bought into DeFi Payments too because I'm a big fan of utility-based tokens, and I really want that XRP out credit card to come out soon. I really believe in the project. There are now only 2 DeFi coins on the XRP Ledger. I don't think this is even a DeFi coin. I took too much from it.